And we're live. Hello, and welcome to the quality coding stream. Nice. My thing is finally working again this time. My little readout. I can see somebody's here, and I suspect it's probably Mudshark, but we'll see. Anyway, hello, and I'm John Reed. I am a coach and trainer with Industrial Logic, and on Saturdays we are just code and been working on this project. We will get to it in just a minute, but meantime, for those of you who are joining, I'll just put this thing in the chat to do. Say hello and share where in the world you are. I love seeing the international scope of the folks who come. Always a pleasure. Always a surprise that more folks don't join from the United States. But that's okay. It is what it is. And let's see. What else do I want to mention? You may know that I'm the author of this book. I'm pretty proud of that. And now, just a couple of days ago, I am now included among the authors of this e-learning. There's my name right there. Haha. Next to some folks, including maybe some people you have heard of. In particular, Mike, better known as G-Paw. G-Paw used to be at Industrial Logic before he went off solo, and I'm building on what he built, which is this new e-learning about microtesting. And here under the languages, you can now select Swift, the Swift edition. I am super excited about this. It's got hours of stuff to do. It's got videos. It's got exercises. You can check out the contents, including some previews. And yeah, come see. That's all I'll say about that this time. But I'm so excited because this is the biggest thing I've published basically since publishing my book. So very proud, very excited. I think this stuff is hot and it will be very good for lots of people. So come check it out. If your company gives you budget for training, as they should, check it out. Well, check out what's there for free in the previews, of course. And let's move on. We don't have, it doesn't look like Mudshark's here. Shock. Oh, I'll give him a break. I've taken more breaks than he has. But somebody's here. Do say hello. And for those of you who are joining after the fact, on either on Twitch or on YouTube, hey, give it a like, a subscribe, a follow, a notification bell thing, whatever it takes to convince the algorithm that you'd like to see more of this. And then you can always change your mind if you decide you don't want to see more of it. And that's totally fine too. All right. Well, we're working on View Controller Presentation Spy, my tool. And we have succeeded in converting it and providing a Swift Package Manager version. but it hasn't been released. And there's one more thing I want to sneak into the release here. And there's still this bit of cleanup about making things private. So I'm not sure how I want to structure the discovery tree here in terms of priorities. But as far as what I want to do today, this is what I want to do. I want to see if I can't offer a better API for Objective-C users. Let me show you what I mean. This is the README. And to verify an alert, it's actually became really nice in Swift. You can see that with one verify call, you can verify all sorts of things about an alert. And you can see that in Objective-C, it's not so good. Yeah. This is how it used to be. This is how it started, was just a bunch of exposed properties, and then you could check each property, whatever you were interested in. And this is a nice thing about going back and forth between languages, is that each programming language has a slightly different nuance about the things that it expresses. And so switching languages can actually expose you to different ideas about, oh, maybe it should do this thing. In particular, maybe it should have a way to say, well, here are the actions for this alert. We have a default action with the text, with the title OK, and a cancel action with the title cancel. Very nice. All because of Swift having enums. Nice Swift enums. One of the best parts of language features of Swift is enumerations with associated values. And so I used that to come up with a better thing, a better way of testing alerts. So that is my goal today. Let's see if we can't do this. To do this, we are going to hop over to the Objective-C side of things. Let me start by running tests just to make sure they're all happy. And here are, Objective-C. Look at that. This may look alien to you if you are new to Objective-C, if you've never seen it before, or if it's been a while, and you may be repulsed by it. Ooh, everyone hated on the square brackets, and I don't understand why. I really don't. I kind of miss Objective-C. I'll be honest. I miss its simplicity because it has one thing. It has the C side, which had a bit of complications to it. When they rolled out Swift, they said it's Objective-C without the Swift, which is a lie. Well, it's marketing. Objective-C had one feature, basically, bracket, and that was to send a message. And that's all you needed to learn, essentially. The rest was kind of details beyond that. It is such a simple language. I miss that simplicity. Hey, more folks have joined in. Welcome. Do say hello in the chat. It's always fun, even if you're just stopping by for a few minutes to see what this is about. I like knowing where people are in the world. Also, you are welcome to ask questions or offer opinions about things, even if they are completely unrelated to what I'm doing in the coding. So we've got various tests. Let's see. Is this alert verifier tests? Yeah, that looks... Wait a second. There's these are the tests, sort of the nitty-gritty tests of the alert verifier. But I want to make sure there's another set of tests around more like what it's actually like to use it. That's what this is. Okay, I had to find my way here. This is closer to here. This is the kind of thing that I want to get rid of, or I want to condense and make more expressive for Objective-C folks. Don't worry. If you're joining and you're like, I don't know, I'm not here for Objective-C, we're going to be writing in Swift, because that is what this tool is now written in, having converted it from Objective-C to Swift. So let's start by expressing the kind of thing, like how can I express this in a new thing, sort of start from the test code. Well, hey there, Paige Watson near Seattle. Welcome. Glad to have you. Thanks for stopping by. I like it when I know people. That's always fun. And strangers too. Don't feel shy. So let's see if we can't express this in a nice way. So there's one set. This is how I used to write these tests. Is I would have assertions against all sorts of things, each field on its own, and then something about actions. Let's see. These are send actions. Show act. Okay, so that's sending an actual touch up inside, which is the funny name for a tap to this button, and seeing. Oh, that's still just stuff on the presentation of the alert. Here's the rest of it. These are the actions of the alert. Blah, blah. So we have actions for an alert and a different one for a sheet, which is a different style of alert. And then we have execution of actions. Execution is separate, but I'd like to move, essentially I want to move from this to this for Objective-C. Let's go. Let's roll. Let us begin towards the top of this thing. And I'll start by start by duplicating this, because I do want to preserve the old behavior. And this will be, instead of all this, it will be basically test an all-in-one verify, new verify, I'm not sure. Not going to worry about the name so much. All right. And what I would like to do is say, hey, alert verifier, I want to send you a message. So this is what the square brackets are. I want to send the alert verifier a message to verify. And here, let's see. Verify with title message. Maybe I should start small. Always a good idea. Verify with, oh. Well, that sure looks like everything I was thinking about doing. Not quite everything, though. There's a problem we're going to face with the actions. But there it is. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this is the style that I want. Except I think I'm positive there's going to be a problem with the actions. Okay, maybe this is where I need to start then. And the reason there's going to be a problem with the actions is that they are swift. It's, for example, a cancel action with an optional title. It's optional because this tool supports tvOS, and tvOS apparently you don't have to have a title on a thing, on a button. Now the thing is, so I can't express this in Objective-C. This is where it's going to fall down. But I want to express something like this. Okay, maybe I need to back out and start with thinking about how do I want to express this in Objective-C. So Paige asks, can you start with just the empty array of actions and do the easy stuff? And do the rest first. Yeah, I certainly can. That would probably be a good start. Great idea. Let's do that. The nice thing about arrays, you can always have an array of nothing. So let's see what we can do. And this may fall down. We'll see. Verify with title. So here's the title. Let's just pull this. Message. Verify animated. Should just be a Boolean. Yes. Actions. This will be, I think this test might fail because it may not match what I have, but that's okay. Well, it's a great place to start. Preferred style. Let me wrap this for you. There we go. The presenting view controller will be the SUT. And then we leave file and line out because those, well, we'll see. So, is it in fact unhappy? And unfortunately with app code, no, it says it can't resolve that. Fine, can it do that? No, it can't. All right, so it's having trouble. because it's trying to get to Swift stuff, and it thinks it can call it, but it can't really call it. And there's some Swift types that don't make sense. And I really don't want to provide the file inline anyway, so that's all right. This got me started, which is what I needed. It's one of the first points with coding is that inertia. You're stuck. And so this is where having working in an ensemble or mob programming is so valuable. This is not mob programming, but it's kind of a simulation of a little bit of it, in that page could say, hey, well, why don't you do this? And that got me moving. It got me unstuck. And this is close to what I would like, but not quite. I should be able, let's just get rid of all these others. This is not quite what I want. And the reason is that the file and line in particular is tricky. In Swift, you get this nice thing. Hang on a second. Come back. Okay, so it can't find that, but if we go to the alert verify, oh, there it is. This is a feature of Swift, is that they have these, you can have, for tests in particular, and it might be useful elsewhere, but I don't see how. You can have arguments with these default values, pound file and pound line, which translate to the file and line of the call site. We don't have that in Objective-C. So this is going to be a problem. And the actions are going to be a problem. But let's start without the actions, as Paige suggests. How did I do this in Objective-C? And the answer is I just leaned on XCT assert, or rather, let's come back here. I leaned on the Objective-C side of things. Oh, but look at this. XCT assert equal has a funny color. And the reason it has a funny color is that it is in fact a macro. And it is a macro oh, they move some stuff around. This is quite different from what I remember. Well, I'm glad that the XCTest team has been doing stuff, even if I don't recognize it. The main reason it was a macro to start with is so that you could provide the file and line as C macros and expand it from the call site. So that's what I need to do, is I need to create my own assertion. This might take some doing, and you know, it's not going to drop in as quickly as I thought, so it might take more than one session. So let me see how I would express this in a macro. QCO. I need to prefix it to avoid name clashes, because there's no name spacing, and especially no name spacing with macros. Alert verifier. Do I want to say QCO verify alert? Maybe on the alert verifier. Oh, this is a bummer. Macros don't get... Macro arguments don't get titles. This may not work. In other words, there's nothing like, say, I pass in title here and message here like this. Let's say this thing existed. There is the arguments, just like in many languages, the arguments are just in order. They're not named, not like they are in Objective-C or in Swift. And so there's nothing preventing... Hey, Mud Shark. Sorry you're late. I'm going to dock your pay. I'll let you off this time. But, next time I might have to have a conversation about, like, whether you're living up to your paycheck here. Glad to have you. So, the key discoveries. In order to have a custom alert in Objective-C, it's a real pain in the butt. It always was. Because the file and line have to come in as macros, macro expansion, which means that the alert has to be a macro, which means it has to look like this, which means it can't have argument labels. Which means if you switch message and title, there's nothing preventing that. And I'm not sure I like that. But let's keep going. Let's say title, message. Yes. Oh, I don't like this. And then some actions. And then... Oh, Okay. Having sung the praises of Objective-C, now I'm feeling the sting of not being able to express some things. How funny. In OC Makito, how did I do this? OC Makito worked because it also, well, let's have a look. Yeah. OC Makito worked because there were not many arguments. It's, even though a lot of people don't like the sort of the shape of Makito, the way it expresses things as embedded, as composed objects or composed functions, rather than what you call it, literate or left to right style. But it worked because I could have things with like just one or two arguments, and it would then supply the file and line as macro expansions and call an actual method at our function at that point. So it worked because the API was designed to be simple. And unfortunately, I don't think this will lend itself to that. I feel a little stymied. This is old style. This is a step towards what I want, and I'm not sure I like it. And I'm not even sure how many folks are still using this in Objective-C. So, this may be a punt. And it's thanks to Paige saying, hey, you know what, forget the array, just go with empty for now. We'll do the easy stuff. And it turns out the easy stuff is hard. Hard stuff is probably easier. So, I think it's time to punt on this and to say, forget it. If folks want, if there are enough Objective-C folks out there and you want something that's closer to this, except that it would have for the actions, it would have to have probably some, it wouldn't have to be a macro at that point. It could be something else, but it would still have to be sort of an awkward name. Action style cancel with like, okay, so it wouldn't be an array. It would be, I'm just going to make up some syntax here. It would be some pairs. Kind of like that. Except something that works. And this all seems like a lot. There's a reason I didn't go down this road initially. And there's a reason I was able to do it in Swift so easily. Huh. So, I guess Swift is not bad. Here we are. I am going to say, let's punt. This is not happening. Womp womp. Delete. Delete. Let's come back. Let's just make some things private, and then if I have time in this session, I'll just go ahead and make the release. We can do it together. Yeah. All right. You got to try things to learn. And like I said, ironically, I started by saying languages let you express different things. Well, there are some things that just are difficult to express. All right. Okie doke. Let's come on back and do my favorite little shorthand. GRHH stands for Get Reset Hard to the head. It's funny. I posted a thing, shared some thought from Tim Ottinger about how with microcommits, you know, if you run into trouble, all you have to do is reset. And you can, like, if you, for example, if you have failing tests, you just reset and you'll be passing again. And I said, and that's where I use like get reset hard. It's so wonderful. And on Facebook, people laughed at that. I think they thought we were joking. We're not joking. This is how we work. Get reset hard. To get out of situations and work in small commits. And welcome to Buffer. I'm scared to say your name, Buffer, because how do I know that that's not like a memory address inside my head that you're going to exploit? Welcome. All right. So punting on that, let's go back and and look at private. Then, what's private? To do that, I do want to get back to, I want to get out of the Objective-C side of things. So let's go over to here. Boot sector. Let's let this warm up. There it goes. It's still sort of figuring itself out. Come on, buddy. Run the tests. It's all right. Okay. All right. Let's do some final cleanup then. Around this is not what I want. I need to try again. This did not open the right thing. Oh, it's the package. Wrong one. There we go. Okay, let's look at what can we make private. Maybe just work down a list here. In fact, can we do this here? It is, whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. It's not really the alert verifier where I need to concentrate. The files that changed were these. Because these were already in Swift. Oh wait, but there's other stuff. For example, I remember, this is something I was exploring. The closure container. This is a workaround to make something, because this used to be written in Objective-C. I needed a way to say, wrap a Swift closure and keep it inside of an Objective-C class. I bet you I don't need this anymore. I bet you we can get rid of this. That would be a win. But is it important? It is better to code with people. Well, let me try. Let's see. If this comes in as a closure container, can I put it inside of... Uh-oh, get out of there. User info completion key. So I think what I need to know is whether I can stick the closure directly into this notification object, and that may or may not work because that is probably Objective-C. So I might not be able to get rid of it. You know what? No, I bet, okay, starting back. This no longer needs an Objective-C side of things. I don't think it needs to have an Objective-C name. Let's see if this works. Cool. Let's see if I can not make it public. Also cool. Okay, so that's already better. Hiding stuff is good. All right. So this is, in terms of what I just did and the risk, there's still some possibility, I think, that, you know, I might have broken something on the Objective-C side. I think it's unlikely, but it's non-provable. I mean, the tests pass. So maybe, nah. Okay. Test pass. I'm going to go with this. All right. This is hide closure container. Make something like that. Okay, there. Hey, I'm 45 minutes in, or 40 minutes in. I usually start 3 minutes after the hour. I'm 45 minutes in, and I made my first commit. This is like the slowest live coding you've ever seen. Except that the first part, you know, you do have to try things. And that's where I'm so glad Paige got me unstuck. To try something and discover it's not going to work. All right, well, that's already better, and I don't feel... Yes, good thought. I do have run tests to run everything, tvOS stuff. Yeah, that's the question, Paige, is like, how's Objective-C? So we'll find out. Thanks, Mudshark, for reminding me that I have a script. It's not something I use often, but this is a very good case for checking. It's fine here. It's fine for these tests, but what about all the other scenarios, the other situations? And so far, so good. So it's going to run tvOS. It's going to run, well, let's have a look at what it's running. Yeah, it's running, there it passed. Objective-C, Swift, using a project, Swift using package, and just the ability to build it. Test pass. So okay, I am unless the script runs both, yeah, so it did. And that is exactly the kind of thing to call out in whether it's R or it's R bang bang. bang bang being riskier. So I jumped the gun by calling it that. And if I needed to, of course, I could just rename it. So I feel better about this. Thank you, folks. This is why you can have my back. And this is why coding is best done as a collaborative effort. Let's see. Was there anything else that I thought might not need to be public anymore? Like extra properties. I don't think this needs to be public. In fact, can't it be private? It sure can. That's better than just going from exposed or internal. All right, so let's find the other extra properties. Because they're all going to be like this. That's just one other. Let's make this private. Cool. Excellent. Well, that's already better. I'm glad that I'm doing something productive today instead of just trying something and not feeling bad necessarily, but, you know, it just feels better. I think that is it. With that, let me just take a quick look here. And whoops. What about these extensions? Haha. Let's look. Oh, we've got a few. Okay, I can't do that one. Oops. Hey. Well, I certainly can't do that one. That's the verify call. Same here. And let's try this. Hey. Hide some extensions. Well, that is better. You don't want to. The reason it was exposed was because I was shifting, and I happen to be shifting languages, so I have to be like, okay, this is starting in Objective-C. I need to expose it. I need to have it still be callable from both sides and sort of shift back. I'm doing this kind of weird move, and now I'm trying to hide what I exposed, and that happens not just for cross language, but like if you're moving a method or Or for example, say you have a bunch of properties that are hidden, they're private, but you're about to shift things over, so but they're not fully shifted over, so you temporarily exposing things. It's a good thing. Let's have a quick look at anything that is in Swift and is declared public, just in case something else pops out at me. Not seeing it. In which case, I think I am ready to go to the README. Let's draft this. Not the README, the changelog. All right. So this is going to be version 6. It's nothing breaking, so this will be 6.10. And today is, what is today? The 6th of August. It has been 77 years since Hiroshima was bombed. The first of 2 nukes dropped on Japan and changing the world. So this will be new feature. By the way, you know how I love to brag on app code, and it's not perfect. Not by any means. But here's one of its features. Markdown. I can see, right? Of course, I can switch and say, yeah, let's not do that. So this will be the I don't know if I want a bullet. I'll figure out how. Sorry, Muchuk, I just noticed. If it's on view control, UI view controller, then it probably needs the run test verification to be sure. I'll let that go while I work on this. Always a good thing to be thorough. So this will be added. Package now available as a Swift package from Swift Package Manager. That's really the thing. That is what we've been working towards this whole time, and that is the one feature it's got. Let us, and there we go, we pass. Great. So this will be 6.10. This is documentation. So it comes in as a lowercase d. Changelog for 6.10. And with this, I'm not going to commit and push yet. There's one more change I want to make. And that is that I've got this encoded. Whoop. Here we are. There are a couple places that I need to change. There is stuff in the project file, and then I have a make distribution script. Unfortunately, I need to change them in 2 places. To change, let's see. To change the Xcode project, I'd rather ask Xcode to do it, right? Let it start up here. Oh, I'm going to need to make this nice and big for you. And let's look for 600. Whoop. 600. There we are. Come on. Where is it? Okay, there it is. I just happen to have these be the same, so there we go. Version. So it's a little bit of a pain, but I don't do this very often. Let's commit this. Oh, I also want to change my script. There we go. So this is bump version. And this is an environment change. It's not really a code change. So it comes in as lowercase e. Bump version to 610. And I'm going to commit and push this. All right, there it goes. With this, I can now run. Is it in here? Hello. My make distribution script. Here we go. Boom. And this is going to go off. You want to see what's inside? Does a clean build, and it builds an exe framework that is it's making a binary release that contains, oh, there it goes. Contains every slice. It's got ARM64, Mac Catalyst, Simulator, tvOS, and tvOS Simulator all inside of one. And there is my zipped up thing. So I'm ready to make this release. Let's do it. In the past, I have fumbled around with making the tag locally and pushing the tag. And it wasn't until this last time working on approval tests with Llewellyn that he was just like, well, just do it in here. I'm like, you can? Well, let's do it. I mean, with version changing, you know, it's kind of like, how often do you do it? If you do it a lot, then you definitely want to automate like something that goes in and changes the right places and so forth. But it's just not often enough for me to justify that effort. So it is time to draft a new release. Here we go. This is the moment. Let me just copy this and say draft new release and paste this in. Now, in the past, I've always done like I've for my title, I just reused the version. I didn't realize that title was really like a marketing thing of like Swift's package manager support. Choose a tag. Here's the thing that I used to do locally, and that now I can say, just do this. Just do it all in one. Excellent. This tag will be created from the target when you publish this. Great. And now I can attach my binary in here. And this should be good to go. Ta-da! Now I'm going to mark this as done. Oh, look at this. We started this back in March, or at least that's when I'm sorry. In January, I've begun the conversion as a live coding project on Twitch. Wow. It is done. And I should be back to no issues. Ta-da! All right, and so there's the release. It is out in the wild. Is there anything else? Any other packaging that Cocoa Pods. Oh, shoot. I forgot to update my Cocoa Pod. Can I amend a release? Can I delete this real quick and okay, this won't take long. First, thankfully, I don't need to update the documentation. No, I don't want 611. I don't need to update the documentation, thankfully, because this is not a major version bump. But I should pull that back. Let's do this again. Try again. Let's see here. Delete. Oops. And let's delete the tag. Never quite remember how to do that. Can I do it in here? Whoops, I just saw it. Tags. Indeed I can. Okay, this is easier. This is easier than looking up how to you know, get where you have to look up everything. All right, let's try again. One more time. No, stay here. All right, we're looking for my pod file. Card file is fine. Here's the pod spec. So, I should have done a more thorough check for 600. I would have spotted this and seen, oh, there it is in the pod spec in two places. 610. And 610. There we go. And this is an environment change. Bump pod spec to 610. Okay. Oops. Try again. This will actually fail the my CI because I have a pod spec linter that will go out and say, there ain't no 610. What are you talking about? So let's quickly see if we can't catch this. Now, oh, I need to make, it's yak shaving, isn't it? Let's make the distribution again, even though all, you know, it doesn't affect the binary. I just want to be careful. All right. Yeah, here we go. Draft a new release. Swift package manager support. And let's see. I don't have my clipboard running. Maybe I should leave that up. Oof. All right. Attach the binary. And call it good. And quick go stop this. Like the updating the markdown snippets is going to be fine, but this is going to fail. Wait, no, this one won't fail. This one will fail. Hang on here. Markdown snippets is fine. Let's have a look. Let me just, yeah, let me stop this. Start it again. Don't I have a way? I don't have a manual trigger on these. Oops. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it. The last step then will be to actually run the pod spec. Let me try this locally. The spec linter, I mean. Because if this is fine, then I can also publish it on CocoaPods. So the release is out there. Oh, what's the deal, Neil? Warning, the public header files pattern did not match any file. Oh. Shoot. That's because now it's not an Objective-C. Oh, damn it. Podspec. Oh. Oh, dear. Always a hassle. Crap. There's nothing here for public header files anymore. Crap. I should have run I should have run the spec. But that's also maybe why I liked having the tag. No, the tag still requires it to be pushed. Nah. Okay, a pain. A pain. Let's try this again. If I delete this, I've got my eye on Objective-C extensions there and wondering, just don't touch. Let me try this command again. Always a hassle. Hang with me, folks. Well, you don't have to hang with me. There's no reason you have to stick around. But I'm just going to finish this up. Okay, it passes. So, oops. Fix pod spec to now that there's no obj. Let's do this again. One more time. Okay, that'll go through this time at least. We'll let that go. But come back to our release. Oh, it's gonna. I'm about to delete the tag and it's gonna freak out. Maybe if I'm fast. Let's try again. Try again. Draft a new release. This is probably, oh, it's still okay. Make this one more time just so everything is absolutely in sync. Thankfully, it was fast. Drop this in. Publish it. Hey. Tag. Did I fail to add the tag? How do I do that? There we go. Okay. How you all doing? This has been releasing is a pain in the butt. There are little details, and this is why in a real company you want to release often, because that surfaces issues, and this kind of thing you would find ways to automate away. Oh, there's one last step, but I'm going to wait for it to go green. And get out of here, Paige. I'm going to wait for this to go green. As soon as it does, then I'll publish it on CocoaPods. But that's it. That's a wrap, and that is a wrap of this project. This whole thing, which included, like, this was when I discovered that discovery tree is awesome. Such a great way to work. Let me do the whoops, the ceremony of changing this to done, changing this to, hey, changing this to done, changing this to done. Ta-da! All right. So thanks for joining me today. This definitely went much better because of your input. I so value coding with people, even if it's through this, indirect chat style of collaboration. It's still good, and it's still better than coding alone. Absolutely. All right. So for anyone who's watched this far, watch the recording this far, go out and subscribe and hit all the things to train the algorithm so that I keep coming back. Next time, I don't have a project in mind, so probably I'll start doing some code katas. Maybe you can suggest one. Hit me up if you maybe there's a code kata you would like. Well, something I can do, and we'll see. But that is it. Thank you for all your help. This has been definitely more successful releasing this thing to get this tool out for folks so that they can access it more easily just through Swift Package Manager. And I think it is a good tool. It just makes testing alerts and presentation and dismissal of views in UIKit so much easier with microtests for the win. And don't forget, microtesting is available in Industrial Logic's e-learning now for Swift. All right, that is all I got. Take care, folks. Be good. Be kind to each other, to yourselves.